Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. RotoBros Live, Week 13, Start, Sit, Sunday. Hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful start to your weekend. The college football games were great last night. So today, hopefully the NFL games are just as good, if not better, and hopefully we can end Week 13 with you guys getting a win in fantasy, because the fantasy playoffs are, 2 weeks away? For most of you, so hopefully we can get you guys on the right track for that. Real quick, excuse my desk changes here. I've got some stuff going on. I've got some additions. I've got to add some stuff to the bonus room here. So there's a little bit of changes going on. So it'll be a little, you'll get me a little closer up than you typically would for the next few shows. But good morning to everybody, and let's get started. Hey, we're getting started with a bang. The first question is perfect because this is Javonte Williams week. My number 2 running back in the draft. I have loved this guy from way before he was drafted by the Broncos. But when he went to the Broncos, that was the ticking clock. Like, we knew that the clock was ticking on Melvin Gordon. And now it's Javonte Williams season. Melvin Gordon is not going to play today. Javonte Williams is going to be the workhorse running back today for the Denver Broncos. So the first question is Barkley or Javonte Williams? I am sitting Saquon Barkley this week for Javonte Williams. Right now, you can't trust Saquon Barkley, and I know it's the weirdest thing in the world. It's the weirdest thing in the world, but you cannot trust Saquon Barkley over a guy like Javonte Williams, who is playing behind a good offensive line, a team that is obviously dedicated to running the football, against a team that doesn't have a great rush defense in the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, no Melvin Gordon. This guy's going to get all the work he can possibly imagine. So Javonte Williams, to me, based on sheer workload alone, I'm taking Javonte Williams over Saquon Barkley, and I believe that Javonte Williams ends this week as an RB1 in fantasy. So for me, I don't really think that the decision is that close. It's Javonte Williams for me. I'm not obviously going to crucify anybody for going Saquon Barkley, and you're going to trust, the elite, the proven elite talent. But I think Javonte Williams has shown us already in his first 13, it is 13-week career, 12-week career so far. I think Javonte Williams has shown us just how talented he is. I'm not concerned about it. I've got this decision to make in actually 2 leagues, I believe, 2 redraft leagues, and I'm taking Javonte Williams in both of them. So give me Javonte over Saquon Barkley today. Foster Moreau or Dawson Knox? I was asked this question in the RotoBros Fantasy Lounge, which you can see scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Check that out. You will not regret joining that. Go to patreon.com/RotoBros. You'll get your start sits, your trade advice, your waiver advice. You'll get everything, and it's all year round. It's not just football season, and we cover all sports. So Foster Moreau or Dawson Knox? It's going to be Dawson Knox. I know he's going up against New England. And the concern is, it's Bill Belichick, so the Bill Belichick defense is always going to try to take away your best weapon. But is it going to be Dawson Knox they try to take away, or is it going to be Stephon Diggs? I think it's probably going to be either Stephon Diggs or Cole Beasley, and I think Dawson Knox is going to have a pretty solid day. I have Knox activated over guys like Dallas Goddard and Zach Ertz in my lineups this week, and even Hunter Henry. So I'm starting Dawson Knox really across the board. I think he's going to be fine against New England. They're going to have to throw, I think. They're going to have to find some success there because, quite frankly, I just don't think they're going to be able to run the ball effectively with Matt Breida today with Buffalo taking on New England. So give me Dawson Knox over Foster Moreau by a pretty big margin, I would say. Daniel Lawson, good morning, buddy. Good morning. Josh Reynolds or Laviska Shenault, 1-point PPR. I'm going to go Laviska Shenault just based on the fact that he should see more touches. He's used more. He should touch the football more. So it's based on pure volume, really. Josh Reynolds might be, with no A.J. Brown, no Julio Jones, he might be the better option from a receiving standpoint. But for me, I think Laviska Shenault is a better all-around football player, and he's going to touch the ball a lot more as well. So I think the odds are higher he touches the ball a lot more. So give me Laviska Shenault over Josh Reynolds this week, pretty much every week, but I'll take Laviska over Reynolds this week as well. Good morning, Kyler Murray or Joe Burrow. You guys know it's hard for me to steer away from old Joe. You guys know I love Joe Burrow. However, it's Kyler Murray. Like, I don't care that it's his first week back after being out a few weeks, over a month, I think now. DeAndre Hopkins is back. He's going to have his full allotment of weapons. James Conner in the backfield. It's Kyler Murray. It's Kyler Murray all day long, and they have an easy matchup as well, so they shouldn't have a tough time moving the football, scoring some points. So I think Kyler Murray in a landslide over Joe Burrow. I love Joe Burrow, don't get me wrong, but I'm not starting him over Kyler Murray really ever. Let's see, Brandon McLemore. It's that bad. I'm having to start Rex Burkhead. Yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad when you're having to start Rex Burkhead. Only option you have is Ronald Jones or Rex Burkhead. I think I would still go Ronald Jones based on scoring opportunity alone. I don't think you can really rely on either one of these guys. I don't think you should expect anything from either one of these guys. This is going to be one of those things throughout the day throughout the games when you're checking the scores. These two guys are not going to really be something that you're going to look at and be like, oh my God, I need a lot of points from these guys. The chances of either one of these guys making or breaking your week this week in fantasy or ever, very, very slim. So your eyes probably aren't going to be fixated on either one of those guys anyway, Rex or Ronald. So I'll go Ronald Jones because of home run hitting ability, more scoring opportunities in the red zone. So I'll go Ronald Jones there over Rex Burkhead. I don't trust either one of them, but if I have to trust one more, it's going to be Ronald Jones. Bill, 1 point PPR, Van Jefferson or Elijah Moore. It's a legitimate question, but I am going to go with Elijah Moore. I just think he's more talented. He's obviously, I think, the better all-around receiver. The Jets are probably going to have to throw more. Jacksonville should not have a tough time today. They should probably, we would imagine, they should get up early, and they should be able to sort of milk the clock, run the football with Sony Michel, if Darrell Henderson does not play, which it doesn't look like he's going to right now. So I'm going to go Elijah Moore. I'll take the better football player here, who should have a bigger role on his offense. If Odell Beckham and or Cooper Kupp were out, I would say Van Jefferson. But right now I'll go Elijah Moore, and I'll take the talent on a team that's probably going to need to throw to play a little bit of catch-up. OBJ or Chase Claypool. This is where I'll take OBJ over Chase Claypool. You can't really trust any Steelers receivers outside of like Deontay Johnson and Pat Freiermuth. I can't trust Chase Claypool. And I had a lot of shares of him before the season started. And I just can't advise him anymore. So for me, it's going to be OBJ all the way over Chase Claypool. Sony Michel, Cole Beasley, or Russell Gage. I think it's going to be Cole Beasley. The most proven, the most reliable, ideal PPR threat out of those three guys, it's going to be Beasley. I think a lot of people are going to say Sony Michel based on matchup, based on the fact Darrell Henderson may not play. He would be a second place for me, but I'm not trusting him over Cole Beasley. I'll go with Cole Beasley, but I'm not excited about any of them. I wouldn't blame you if you went Sony Michel, however, but I think for me this week, I'm going to go Cole Beasley. I'm going to trust the talent, trust the player, and quite frankly, I'm going to try to trust Josh Allen as much as I can. So I'll go Cole Beasley over Michel and Gage. I think Gage is a deep third place. So I'm gonna go Cole and then Sony in that order. But I think those two are very close. I couldn't blame you either way. Trust your gut on that one. Wilson or Carson Wentz. Russell Wilson or Carson Wentz. With the matchup today, I think you got to go Carson Wentz. I mean, Russell Wilson's going to get back on track and be normal Russell Wilson at some point before the fantasy season ends. But we've been waiting 3 weeks now? We've been waiting 3 weeks now, and it hasn't happened yet. By the way, for those of you that have Jalen Hurts in your lineup and you're waiting on the news, just came across the Eagles are starting Gardner Minshew today. He's starting. So Gardner Minshew is going to be starting for Jalen Hurts. I don't think it's a bad thing for Devontae Smith. Gardner Minshew was typically a good thing for DJ Chark, if you remember. So I think you kind of treat Devontae Smith pretty much the same as you would. And I don't think there's really an upgrade or downgrade for really anybody else. I think Devontae Smith you treat the same. I don't think Gardner Minshew is going to be any better or any worse, really. So I don't think that the quarterback change is a big a problem. I don't think it's going to affect too many things from a fantasy standpoint anyway. But Gardner Minshew is going to step in for the injured Jalen Hurts today, so keep that in mind. That's going to affect me a lot because I'm going to have to play Gardner Minshew in a lot of my super flex leagues where I have Jalen Hurts as my QB2. So yeah, Gardner Minshew is going to be starting for the Philadelphia Eagles at quarterback today, so keep that in mind. But yes, Wilson versus Carson Wentz. I'm going to go Carson Wentz. I like the matchup. Carson's been a fantasy QB1 all season long. He's showing a lot more consistency right now. So right now, I think you got to trust Carson Wentz over Russell Wilson. That is definitely not something that I thought I would be saying, when the season started. But I think right now it's proven that Carson Wentz is the guy that you got to go with here. Let's see. If Henderson is out, do you play Sony Michel over Hollywood Brown? Yeah, I probably would. Just based on sheer amount of touches that Sony may get, I would probably play him over Hollywood Brown. I'm not crazy about either one of them, but I'll take now. If Rashad Bateman wasn't healthy, then I would take Hollywood Brown and I'd play the ceiling matchup, the ceiling play with Hollywood. But I don't think he's got that big of a ceiling with Rashad Bateman in the mix now. So go ahead and give me Sony Michel in a good matchup if Darrell Henderson does sit, which again it does sound like he's supposed to. Lisa McCullough, full point PPR. Hopkins in the rain or Claypool or Mike Williams? I'll trust Hopkins in a straitjacket before I will sit him for Chase Claypool or BMW. So it's DeAndre Hopkins with Kyler Murray returning in a good matchup. I don't care that it's raining. Give me DeAndre Hopkins for sure. Good morning, Chris. Non-PPR, choose one. Javonte Williams. There you go. We don't even need to hear the other names. Javonte Williams. The only one that's close, he asked Javonte Williams, Sony Michel, Jamal Williams, or James Robinson. The only one that's close is James Robinson, and he's a little hobbled right now anyway. It's easy. It's Javonte Williams. He's healthy. He's got a good matchup. He's going to be force-fed the football. He's going to be a complete workhorse today. It's Javonte Williams. He should have a massive workload today. I think he's going to finish the day as a fantasy RB1. PPR, unfortunately, need to start two among Boston Scott, Matt Breida, Rex Burkhead, Darrell Williams, or Nyheim Hines. Matt Breida, you're going to start based, again, on workload. He's the starting running back for Buffalo now. They're getting him more involved. He's the best running back in that backfield. So while I don't think he has a great day, you can't ignore him because of the options. So it's not going to be Rex Burkhead. Not going to be Darrell Williams because CEH is there. Not going to be Nyheim Hines because you can't really trust him that much. So to me, I think you got to go Boston Scott. I don't think you can trust any of these guys really at all. Matt Breida being the most you can trust. But I would be careful with that. So I'm gonna go Breida and I'm gonna go Boston Scott here. PPR running back with Henderson out, Scott or Drake. I will go Kenyon Drake. Josh Jacobs is expected to play. But I mean, I think both of these guys are neck and neck, so it's pretty much like a coin flip for me. Trust your gut on it. But I think, and like again, the Eagles could even look to with Minshew playing, they could look to try to establish the run a little bit more. He might be looking to check down to the running back out of the backfield a little bit more. I try not to get into those types of predictions because there's just too much variance involved. You know what? I think I'm talking myself out of Drake here. I think I'm gonna go Boston Scott actually. I'm gonna go Boston Scott over Kenyon Drake. At the beginning of the season I never would have done that, but right now with how the Raiders are using Kenyon Drake, they're not getting him that involved. At least Boston Scott has been consistently involved. And now with the quarterback change, again, there could be some checkdowns with Gardner Minshew. I think that's what you really gotta hope for here. So to me, I think Boston Scott is going to be the option again over Kenyon Drake. So I'll kind of real time change my opinion there for you. Hunter Renfrow or Keenan Allen. I'm not benching Keenan Allen for Hunter Renfrow. I'm going to take the talent. I'll take the proven commodity. I know Renfro's been good this year. I've got him in several leagues. I'm starting him in several leagues. But if it comes down to him or Keenan Allen, I'm not benching Keenan Allen for Hunter Renfrow. Give me Keenan Allen. I'm not going to overthink this one. Two good PPR plays. Give me the elite talent. That's Keenan Allen, in my opinion. Good morning, Chris. Who should I start? Minshew versus the Jets. Mac Jones versus Buffalo. That's a better question than what a lot of people think. However, if Minshew had played 6-7 games this year with the Eagles, I think you could probably get away with maybe, starting Gardner Minshew. But to me, I think you got to go Mac Jones. I'm going Mac Jones here. I'm going to trust the guy that's been getting it done for me all year long. Mac Jones has been solid against all teams pretty much from a fantasy perspective. Give me Mac Jones. I'm going to trust the talent with Mac Jones. I'm going to trust the coaching with Mac Jones and the Patriots. So yeah, I'll take Mac Jones. Pivotal divisional game as well. I know it's on the road, so that's not great. Buffalo's going to be a little bit motivated, but give me Mac Jones over Gardner Minshew. I know Minshew's matchup is good, but go ahead and give me Mac Jones over Gardner Minshew. However, if your question was Gardner Minshew over, let's say, Baker Mayfield, I will take Gardner Minshew over Baker Mayfield. That one's for you, Joe. Let's see. If Henderson sits, I have to make a move. James Robinson, OBJ, or Brandon Cooks in the flex. James Robinson is not 100%, but he is going to play, is what it sounds like, barring a last-minute change. So if James Robinson does play, I will go James Robinson over OBJ and Brandon Cooks. If he doesn't play, if Henderson and James Robinson both sit, I think I'm going to lean OBJ here over Brandon Cooks. I will lean OBJ over Brandon Cooks. Teddy Bridgewater or Taylor Heineke, I will go with Taylor Heineke. Sony Michel or James Robinson if he plays. It's James Robinson if he plays every single time. James Robinson every single time. It looks like he's going to play. You got to go with the talent there. You got to go with the guy that does it all, the proven guy. It doesn't matter what the offensive line looks like. Like James Robinson just gets it done. He's just good. So yeah, I think James Robinson over Sony Michel makes a whole lot more sense than Sony over James Robinson. Jeremy Lewis, Gaskin or Sanders? I'm going to go Myles Gaskin here. Dolphins are playing well. Tua seems to be playing well as well. They're going to try to make a late run here. They've reeled off some, several games in a row, I believe. I think you got to go with Myles Gaskin here. Myles Gaskin is a workhorse. He does it all. He's not flashy. He's not like super impressive or anything. But right now, again, the Dolphins are rolling. Coming off that big win, that blowout win against Carolina. What has Miles Sanders done that you can trust him? It's got to be Myles Gaskin. Give me Miles with a Y. PPR, Dawson Knox or Dallas Goddard. Again, like I said at the beginning of the show, I've got this same decision. In like 3 or 4 different leagues, I own both these guys. So I'm going Dawson Knox over Dallas Goddard in every single league. I'm going the better player to me on the better offense. I think he's going to get more options. I think Bill's going to try to take away Stephon Diggs rather than Dawson Knox. I'm going Dawson Knox over Dallas Goddard. They're both good plays. I'm going Dawson Knox. Jeff Atlas, PPR, Gesicki or Logan Thomas? I will go Logan Thomas. Is it the week to start Miles Sanders now? It is not, depending on who your options are, or put Jeudy at the flex instead. I think I'd probably go with Jerry Jeudy. I think you can trust Jerry Jeudy more than you can trust Miles Sanders at this point. Jeremy Lewis, Kyle Pitts or Foster Moreau? Look, Kyle Pitts has not been great the last few weeks. I get it. It has come time now where if you have 2 good tight end options, if you have Goddard and Pitts, if you have Knox and Pitts, if you have Gronk and Pitts, if you have Hawkinson and Pitts, it's time to bench Kyle Pitts. For guys like that. It is not time to bench Kyle Pitts for guys like Foster Moreau. The ceiling with Kyle Pitts is much higher. He hasn't had his last big game of the year. He's going to have another 1 or 2. It could be today at home against Tampa. We'll see what happens. With Cordell Patterson back, I think that helps Kyle Pitts because without Cordell Patterson, who else are you going to focus on offense? Only Kyle Pitts, right? So give me Kyle Pitts over Foster Moreau. I can't advise. I would never do it, and I'm not going to advise you guys to do something that I would never do. So it has come time to bench Kyle Pitts, but for the right player. Hawkinson, Goddard, even Ertz, Dawson Knox, Gronk. I've got Gronk and Pitts in numerous leagues, and I'm starting Gronk in every single one of them. For the rest of the year, not just this week, rest of the year. But you're not benching Kyle Pitts for Foster Moreau. You're just not. Non-PPR, Standard League, Knox or Freiermuth? It's a good question. It's a good question. I think you have to stay with Knox because if this was old Ben Roethlisberger, it'd be Pat Freiermuth. It'd be Pat Freiermuth. It's not. You got to go Dawson Knox. I think he's been the much better tight end all year long when he's been healthy. I do think Pat Freiermuth rest of the season is a fantasy tight end 1. I think he'll finish the season as a fantasy tight end 1. He's an animal. I've said it all year. He's an animal. Pat Freiermuth is amazing, but I can't, due to quarterback situation, I can't advise benching Dawson Knox for him. So give me Dawson Knox. I like him this week. I'm starting him across the board. Renfrow with Waller out or Devontae Smith with Minshew GOAT starting? I'll go Hunter Renfrow. To me, there's a ceiling play, and that's Devontae Smith, and there's a floor play, and that's Hunter Renfrow. I think Hunter Renfrow has got a much higher floor, especially with Darren Waller out. So give me Hunter Renfrow because I think right now, if you're competing and you're trying to, if you're projected to lose by a lot, you may want to go the ceiling play. But I think, to me, almost either way, I think I'm going to go Hunter Renfrow. I want more guaranteed points, and I feel like Hunter Renfrow, at this point in the situation right now, I think gives you that. So give me Hunter Renfrow over Devontae Smith this week, but I don't think Devontae Smith is a bad play, even with Minshew under center. Van Jefferson or Devontae Parker? I'm going to go Devontae Parker. Tua's playing well. He gets his number 1 receiver back. I think Parker tries to come back in a big way. I'll go Devontae Parker. I don't think either one of them is going to have a huge impact, but I think if I had to lay money down and bet on one to have the better fantasy day, it's going to be Devontae Parker for me for sure. Joseph Woods, Noah Fant or Foster Moreau? Give me Noah Fant. You've been able to rely on him more. He's been a fantasy tight end 1 for the majority of the year, I believe. Give me Noah Fant today, pretty much every week over Foster Moreau. Lisa McCullough, need full point PPR, need 2. Ramondre Stevenson, Matt Breida, Latavius Murray, Alex Collins. It's not going to be Murray and Collins. It's going to be Stevenson and Breida. I don't think you can really rely on any of these 4 guys this week, but just take the talent, take the 2 best players here. That's going to be Matt Breida and Ramondre Stevenson. Half point PPR, pick 2, Sony Michel, Chase Claypool, Devontae Smith, or Darnell Mooney. Give me Sony and give me Devontae here. Who do I play in my flex? Crowder, Logan Thomas. I would play, if I start Logan Thomas, I'd play 3 tight ends. I don't really like that at all. Drake or Damian Harris. You're never going to bench Damian Harris for Drake. So it's going to be Damian Harris since Darrell Henderson won't play. I'm going to go with Logan Thomas over Jameson Crowder, so I think you are going to have to go 3 tight ends today, oddly enough. So that's not great, but I'm not benching Drake for Damian Harris, or I'm not benching Damian Harris for Drake. So give me Damian Harris for sure over Drake. That's like every week. Joseph Woods, full point PPR, Rex, Drake, or Foster Moreau. You sure you don't have any other options? Like, I don't know. Like, flip a coin. I have no idea. I guess you got to go Rex Burkhead. Based on workload alone, I think you got to go Rex Burkhead. Yeah, I'm not crazy about it. You're not going to pay any attention to this flex spot here because none of these guys are going to do anything for you more than likely. Rex Burkhead is going to be the option for me. I don't like it, but it's got to be Rex. Higgins, Devontae, Parker, OBJ, Kirk, pick 2. It's going to be T. Higgins, and it's going to be not going to be Kirk. I'm going to go OBJ. T. Higgins and OBJ. Devontae Parker a close third, but I will take Higgins and OBJ over Kirk and Parker this week. Jason Van Hughes says Dallas Goddard or Jack Doyle in standard. It's Dallas Goddard every single week. I know Doyle, has kind of picked up the pace a little bit. Dallas Goddard is a much better option, especially I think with Gardner Minshew starting. So give me Dallas Goddard over Jack Doyle. Mitch Vaughn, Brandon Cooks. at 1. Oh, so okay, that's the time they're kicking off. Brandon Cooks at 1 or Stoney Michel at 4. You know what? That's a good question. I think for me, I'm going to go with I'll go with Stoney Michel over Brandon Cooks. It's close, but I guess I'll take the overall touches. Brandon Cooks, again, dealing with that illness, so give me Stoney Michel there. Jared Mattern, Pittman or Hopkins today. As good as Pittman is, as much as of a supporter of Michael Pittman as I am, I can advise benching DeAndre Hopkins when Kyler Murray's back. It's got to be DeAndre Hopkins over Michael Pittman. But hopefully you can find a way to get both of them in your lineup. But it sounds like you got a hell of a receiving core there. I have Elijah Mitchell versus the Seahawks. He has Najee Harris versus the Raven. Who scores more? Man, who knows? Who knows? There's no way. It's a question you just can't ask. Like you really can't. It's impossible to answer. I mean, they're both probably fantasy RB1s this week. So to me, I mean, it's a total coin flip. 1 point PPR: Devin, Singletary, Damian Harris, Russell Gage in the flex, and Hurts or Higbee at tight end. I will take Ertz over Higbee, and I will take Damian Harris in your flex. Jeff Ritchie, Miles Sanders, Stoney Michel, Damian Harris. Pick one. I'll take Damian Harris here. Not excited about any of those three, but give me Damian Harris. Russell Wilson or Tua. I know Wilson, but the entire Seattle team looks like crap. They do. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm going to go Tua. I'm going to take Tua over Russell Wilson. Getting Devontae Parker back, I think that's huge for him. Give me Tua Tagovailoa, who's playing some pretty darn good football right now, as are the Dolphins as a team as a whole. This is ugly, but pick 2. Stoney Michel, Tevin Coleman, Freeman, and Kirk. I will take Freeman, and I will take Stoney Michel. That is ugly, but I'll go with Stoney and Devontae there. Happy Sunday, Chris. Happy Sunday to you as well. Gaskin versus the Giants. Jamal Williams versus the Vikings. I will go Gaskin versus the Giants. James Robinson or Elijah Mitchell. I'll take Elijah Mitchell every week. He's proven it. There's really nothing else. James Robinson's good as well, but he's hobbled. Even if he's healthy, I'm still taking Elijah Mitchell with the way he's played. Full point PPR, Miles Sanders or CEH. Give me CEH. Kyler Murray versus Chicago. Cousins versus Detroit. Got to go Kyler Murray, but I think this is a good problem to have. I think both of these guys probably going to finish the day as QB1s in fantasy. So you're good to go either way. I'll take Kyler Murray, I think, for more of a ceiling, however. Bill, my other money league, 1 point PPR, playing Justin Jefferson and Jalen Waddle. Need a third wide receiver flex out of these three, please. Elijah Moore, Brandon Cooks, Darnell Mooney. I will go with Brandon Cooks, Elijah Moore, Darnell Mooney in that order. Good sir. So Bill, best of luck, and I will take Brandon Cooks, Elijah Moore, Darnell Mooney in that order. James Robinson, OBJ, or Brandon Cooks in the flex. If James Robinson plays, I'll take James Robinson, but if he doesn't, I will go OBJ over Brandon Cooks. But I'll take James Robinson over both if he does trot out there. Do we trust Teddy Two Gloves, or should I go with Minshew? I will go with Gardner Minshew. I think Gardner Minshew's not a bad play. I think he's a good super flex option. Hopefully you're not starting him as your QB1 in fantasy, but I think he can put up some decent QB2 fantasy numbers with those weapons with Devontae Smith and Dallas Goddard. So give me Minshew there. Clinton Garrett, Mitchell, Gibson, or Jamal Williams. You got to go with Elijah Mitchell. He's been the best running back. I know Gibson's hot right now. Give me Elijah Mitchell, however. But it is Mitchell, Gibson, Jamal Williams in that order. With Hurts out, who should I start? Jimmy G, Heineke, Dalton, Zach Wilson, Tyrod Taylor, Goff, Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, or Gardner Minshew. I think you got to go Jimmy G. No, you know what? It's either Jimmy G, Heineke, Mac Jones, and Minshew. I'm not going to go Mac Jones, so I'm going to eliminate him. So it's Minshew, Heineke, or Jimmy G. I'm going to go Jimmy G. I'm going to stick with Jimmy G. It's between Jimmy G and Taylor Heineke for me. Give me Jimmy Garoppolo over Taylor Heineke this week. Foster Moreau or Hunter Henry. I will take Hunter Henry. I just think he's the better player. I think he's got the things on the better scheme. I think he, to me, is going to have a pretty good day today. I like Hunter Henry over Foster Moreau. Lost Cooks and Henderson for this week, so I need 2 running backs in PPR. Hines, Breda, Coleman. I could pick up Ronald Jones. I would take Breda, and I would pick up Ronald Jones, and I would probably drop Tevin Coleman. So give me Ronald Jones, give me Matt Breda there. Blake Hebert says, Teddy Bridgewater, Taylor Heineke every week, in my opinion. Dusty Dunaway, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you. Let's see. Russell Gage or Jameson Crowder this week. I guess I'll go Russell Gage, but I don't think either one of these guys are going to pay any sort of dividends either way. Peter Parker says, KJ Osborne or Brian Edwards. Don't really like either one of them. I will go with the ceiling here, and I will go with KJ Osborne. They're supposed to throw a little bit more now that Dalvin Cook's out. I think that's going to help KJ Osborne. Don't expect anything from either of them. I'll go KJ over Brian. Would you pick up Devontae Parker for Judy or OBJ in PPR rest of the season? Not over OBJ, but maybe over Judy. But I think right now I might hold on to Judy for one more week. I would hold on to Judy for this week and see how it goes. Sony Michel or Boston Scott, full point PPR. I would go with Sony Michel if Darrell Henderson is in fact out. Coleman, Freeman, Michelle, and Kirk pick 2. Give me Freeman and Michelle. Goddard or Komet, says Peter Parker. Give me Dallas Goddard every week. Who do I play in my flex? Crowder, Logan Thomas, Drake, or Damian Harris, or pick up Sony Michel. I would play Damian Harris and then Sony Michel. Those would be my 2 options there. So Damian Harris over everybody. Noah Alford, Minshew, or Teddy Bridgewater with Hurts out, and Pitts or Logan Thomas. I will go with Logan Thomas. I will go with Gardner Minshew over Teddy Bridgewater. Josh Joris, Hunter Henry, or Foster Moreau. Give me Hunter Henry. Can we sit Pitts for Logan Thomas against Las Vegas? Yes, I think you can. He is one of the few names I think you're going to sit Kyle Pitts for at this point in time. So yes, Kyle Pitts based on Logan Thomas based on targets. I think he's going to be just more involved right now. So give me Logan Thomas. Let's see. Love or Beck from the show. Definitely Beck. Definitely Beck. Yeah. Guinevere Beck. Give me that. Give me her. Joseph Woods, full point PPR, pick 2. Fant Moreau, Drake, or Rex. I'll take Rex Burkhead. I'll take Noah Fant. Peter Parker, Connor, Elijah, or CEH. You're going to bench CEH every single week for James Conner and Elijah Mitchell. The workload they're getting, the performances they're putting on, it's too much, it's too good. Sit CEH, don't even think anything about it. I don't care what the matchup is. You're going with Connor and you're going with Mitchell. Noah Alford, Freiermuth, or TJ Hawkinson. I will go TJ Hawkinson based on target workload. I'm not benching Hawkinson for Freiermuth. How concerned are we with Zeke the rest of the season? I'm not too concerned. I just think he needs to get healthy. Maybe they sit him next week. I don't know. He does have a little more time to get healthy, obviously. So I think he's going to be fine. I'm not going to panic on Ezekiel Elliott. James Robinson or Jamal Williams. Give me James Robinson if he plays. Mitchell or Harris. Who scores more? I will go with Elijah Mitchell if pressed. But again, it's Najee Harris and Elijah Mitchell. It's a coin flip, guys. You can't really, it's hard to ask that, you can't, it's hard to ask that. So I'll lean Elijah Mitchell, but it's very, very close. Devin Singletary or Tevin Coleman, got to be better options than that, but I guess I'll go with Tevin Coleman. Christy Alford, play Komet or Logan Thomas over Pitts. I would play Logan Thomas over Kyle Pitts. Flex Jamal Williams, Claypool, or Devontae Smith. I would flex Jamal Williams based on workload. Danny Barkle, good morning, sir. Sony or Miles Sanders today? I will go with Sony Michel over Miles Sanders. Andre Robinson, standard flex. James Robinson, Hunter Renfrow, D-Hop, or BMW. I'm going to go with... Oh, it's got to be DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins is playing. He's not questionable. He's playing. It's DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah, it's DeAndre Hopkins. Cousins or Wilson? Cousins every single week at this point. Wilson or Tua? I'm going to go with Tua Tagovailoa. Kyler Murray or Carson Wentz? It's Kyler Murray every single week, especially with DeAndre Hopkins back in the fold. Willie, Alex Madison, Miles Sanders, Josh Jacobs need to. You are not benching Alex Madison under any circumstances. He is a full-blown RB1 every single time Dalvin Cook sits. I don't care who you own. You are starting Alex Madison. You're not benching him under any circumstances for the most part. You are not starting Miles Sanders over Josh Jacobs. Give me Josh Jacobs and Alex Madison there. Bench DK for Devontae Smith or Kendrick Bourne. No, I can't. I can't advise it. I wouldn't do it myself. I'm not going to advise you to do it. Dale Laird, DeAndre Hopkins or Boston Scott. Dale, you know the answer to that. Come on now. Come on, Dale. You know the answer to that. Cameron Cassetta says Jerry Jeudy or Matt Breida. I will go with Jerry Jeudy. Typically, I would say Breida, but I do not like the matchup for Breida, so I'm not starting him unless I have to. I have to in several leagues, unfortunately. Jerry Jeudy for me. Lisa McCullough, full point PPR, Breida or Stevenson. I will go with Ramondre Stevenson. Gonzalo Reyes, Mike Williams, or Darnell Mooney. I will go with BMW there. Josh Reynolds or Cortland Sutton. I will go with Josh Reynolds. Every time that Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy have been on the field together, Cortland Sutton has failed to be a top 60 fantasy receiver. Let that sink in. Josh Reynolds for me based on workload. Pick one PPR, Pittman, Waddle, or Mooney. It's going to be Pittman really every single week. Waddle is close, but again, Devontae Parker's back. That's going to take some targets from Waddle. So give me Michael Pittman. I'm going to take the talent there. I'm going to take the opportunity there. He's the alpha. He's the number one. Give me Michael Pittman. 1 point PPR, need 2. Hopkins, Godwin, Marquise Brown, Michael Pittman. You're not going to play Marquise Brown over any of those 3 guys ever. You're always going to start DeAndre Hopkins. So it's DeAndre Hopkins, and it's between Godwin and Pittman. I don't think you can go wrong. I think both have good weeks, but I think until Antonio Brown gets back, Chris Godwin is money. When Antonio Brown's on the field with Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown consistently, nearly every single time, outplays Chris Godwin. Antonio Brown's not on the field. Chris Godwin's money. Give me Chris Godwin against Atlanta over Pittman Jr. this week. Cole Beasley or Van Jefferson in the flex PPR. I think some people would go Van Jefferson because of the matchup for Cole. I'm going to take Cole Beasley. I think they're going to need a guy like Cole Beasley to win this game today. So give me Cole Beasley over Van Jefferson, but it is pretty close, so trust your gut on that one. How about Mark Andrews versus Logan Thomas? I will go with Mark Andrews. He's been money all year long. He's been a tight end, like top 4 tight end, I think, in fantasy all year. Go with Mark Andrews. Don't think twice about it. I'm taking Mark Andrews every week, by the way. Pick 2 full point PPR for today. OBJ, Ayuk, or Hopkins. I'm going to go with Hopkins, obviously, every week, and I'll go with Brandon Ayuk because there is no Deebo Samuel this week. So Brandon Ayuk, DeAndre Hopkins for me. It looks like we got through all the questions, guys. If I missed any, go ahead and tag me. I'll try my best to answer them off air. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We will. I'll hopefully see you guys Thursday night for RotoBros Live Start Sit Thursday. And you guys enjoy the games today. Best of luck locking up a playoff spot today or getting closer to locking up a playoff spot. Enjoy the games today, guys. I am out.